Was it a surprise to anyone that DX would be a part of the Hall of Fame? Probably not. And I wasn't sure when the time was right. I was thinking probably another year. And DX being inducted in the Hall of Fame this year, I know that there's a lot of people that are very, very happy that DX is going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. But I always felt like, and this is just my opinion, my thought, I always felt like the Four Horsemen were inducted in the Hall of Fame back in 2012. They were the first faction, the first group that were inducted in the Hall of Fame. And I always felt if there was going to be another big time group inducted in the Hall of Fame next year, this year to be exact, I felt it should have been the NWO. I felt it should have been that group. I felt it should have been Hall, it should have been Nass, it should have been Hogan. But I'm not sure where the WWE lies with Hogan at this point. I know that he's still part of the WWE some way, shape, or form. I'm not sure. But I've always felt the NWO should have been first in the Hall of Fame instead of DX. Not that DX does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I just feel like you got to put them first because the NWO came out first before DX. Or, and this is something I don't know why I was thinking about this, maybe you should have had maybe Click. Have Hall, have Nash, have X Pac, have Shawn Michaels, have Triple H, have them be inducted in the Hall of Fame. Because even though the Click truly ran DX and the NWO, they were their own clique. But the group never really it was exposed in the business, but it really never it showed up in WWE, it showed up in the WCW, but it never, you see a few videos of them together and everything, and you know how that stuff goes. But the DX being a part of the NWO, I'm sorry, DX being a part of the WWE Hall of Fame stirs up a lot of questions. Let's start with the whole thing with the introduction of the the introduction of D-Generation X. When DX first came out, it was Shawn Michaels, Triple H, China, and Ravishing Rick Rude. That was the original members of DX. How it all started right there. Some people probably wonder why couldn't they have inducted Rick Rude in the WWE Hall of Fame? Well, he's already we know he's already in the Hall of Fame. First of all, we know Rick Rude's already in the Hall of Fame, but we also know that he was a part of DX, and it would have been great to put him in the Hall of Fame just like that. But I don't know. I guess they don't want to put a second ring on Ravishing Rick Rude in many ways. And then I obviously I want to get to China, but I'll get to her in a minute. Then you have the New Age Outlaws. To me, one of the greatest tag teams of all time. Definitely a Hall of Fame bound tag team. Definitely deserve to be in the Hall of Fame in my view. Both Billy Gunn and the Road Dogg Jesse James. But I think the controversy stirring around that pot is that we know Billy Gunn is working with the All Elite Wrestling promotion. Now, it's surprising that he's being inducted in the Hall of Fame considering where he's at right now and considering the situation that has been happening with the All Elite Wrestling and the WWE, where you know about the whole thing with the crowd, and you know how when people show up wearing All Elite shirts and people, just asking others to take their shirts off and everything, and they did, which was kind of embarrassing, kind of insulting. I think I find that real stupid for the fans to do that, or for the people to do that to the fans. But Billy Gunn being inducted in the Hall of Fame, being a part of DX and being inducted in the Hall of Fame, it stirs up a lot of questions. Obviously, it's probably something that Triple H did. I don't know if Vince McMahon agrees with it or not. He probably doesn't. But it stirs up a lot of controversy. X Pac. To me, if he was inducted in the Hall of Fame on his own, I don't know. Some people may think he's not Hall of Fame bound, and to me, he isn't. I mean, and let's be honest, his career, when you look at it, he's won titles. He's been a part of both factions, both the NWO and DX, but he has had some personal issues. And most of it involved, with China, of course, but others involve with other things that people have heard about. About his. He's been arrested a few times. He's gone through rehab, gone through some stuff and everything, and not to put him down or anything else like that. But I'm not even sure why they should even induct him in the Hall of Fame, other than the fact that he was a part of Degeneration X. Which now leads me to China. And this was one of these things where a lot of people, well, first of all, the majority of the people are happy that China is going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. But it's not necessarily the fact that she's being inducted in the Hall of Fame by herself. It's the fact that she's inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame with all of her fellow DX members. And the question that was brought to my attention was, okay, is there going to be a possible way for China to be inducted in the Hall of Fame by herself? The answer to that is probably no. And I think it's because of the one thing. Well, a couple things that come to mind. China pretty much had, she had a relationship with X-Pac after Triple H, I believe. She also had appeared in several episodes of several shows. I know one was, I think it was Celebrity, not Celebrity Rehab. It was a Celebrity Real House, I think. I think that's what it was called. And she was going through some problems. And most of those problems involved, I believe it was X-Pac at the time. And I remember seeing that episode. And also, of course, we all know about China being a part of the adult industry. And I was in shock when not only did she appear, because she appeared in Impact Wrestling as well for that one time. She also appeared in a couple of adult films with Vivid. And I've never, okay, I'll be honest. I have seen a couple. They're not too bad. They're not like the best, but they're okay nonetheless. But China being inducted in the Hall of Fame is also one of those real questionable ones, because does she deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Okay, let's review. China was the first woman to enter the Royal Rumble. China was the first woman to enter the King of the Ring. China was the first woman to win the Intercontinental Championship. And China, in all respect, all those would definitely make her in the running for being the WWE Hall of Fame, because those were all firsts. They've never been done before. But it's one of those things where it's very, very questionable. And I'm not sure if even the WWE, I don't know if Triple H could just induct her anyway, even if she was alive. When she had passed on, you knew right away that one way or another she was going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. So what did they do? I guess in retrospect, they go ahead and decide, okay, we're just going to go ahead and induct all the members of DX in the Hall of Fame, which also includes China, which would help not only DX, but it would also help China as well. But I always feel like I said, if China was inducted on her own, it would be great. And I think the fans would like that. But then there are others that would question it as well about why you were putting this woman in the Hall of Fame. She deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. There's a lot of question marks that go along with that. But one thing's for certain, we all know that Degeneration X is now going to be in the Hall of Fame, all of them from Triple H. This will be his first induction in the Hall of Fame. And no doubt he'll be in the Hall of Fame in the near future soon. Very, very soon. And then Shawn Michaels, of course, this will be his second Hall of Fame appearance, and he will have a second ring alongside with the Nature Boy Ric Flair. The New Age Outlaws, the Road Dogg Jesse James and Badass Billy Gunn, both will be inducted in the Hall of Fame. A very worthy tag team, a very worthy Hall of Fame tag team, And I think sometime in the near future, probably down the road, we'll see them wear 2 rings in the future. X Pac, while it's questionable that he is in the Hall of Fame, he was a part of DX. He made history, and he does deserve to be in that group. He does deserve to be in the Hall of Fame in that chance. And China, well, I know a lot of fans definitely are glad that China is in the Hall of Fame. Definitely. Does she deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Absolutely. Does she deserve to get a second ring? Absolutely. Does she deserve all the credibility and everything that the WWE has done for the women's evolution? Absolutely. And why I still think it's questionable, the fans definitely deserve to see her in the Hall of Fame. DX deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. China deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. It's going to be very, very interesting to hear what DX is going to say and if they're going to bring China up in any way possible. And all I can say is I'm glad for DX. Congratulations to him. And this is just going to be one of many that are going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2019 this year. So it should be very